Greetings. I am Chief Min Waab once again, coming to you with another update due to some calls, due to some requests for information as to how certain current events affect what we have done or are doing right now. So one of the things come up was the recent events of Elizabeth II's death. But the thing about that is that wasn't the first important announcement. The first important announcement was the Vatican recalled all their assets. They're calling all their financial assets back to base. Right? That was the first. That was about 4 days. About 4 days before that. 3 or 4 days, if I stand to be corrected, but it wasn't a week before. And then as we told you all in a couple of videos, we told you all that Elizabeth II has been dead over a decade now, or just about a decade thereabouts. So what you have to pay attention to is why now announce it, right? Instead of you're trying to figure out like, hey, you only have the Queen and all the documents, and she dead now, so what I mean, and it was a fraud from the beginning. It was a fraud ab initio, right? So whoever takes it up, however long they take to take it up for however long it lasts, it will always be a fraud, right? She was proven to be a fraud, as we see numerous times on video since 2011, right? And it should have crumbled then, but everybody else keep the charade up for a reason. Now, she been dead a little while after that, right? And they didn't announce anything for the same reason why they choose to announce it now. Because they're ushering in their, what they call it, their global reset, right? And they need a new face for the English part of the contribution. So, hence, your boy Charles, right? He who rates himself a proud descendant of Vlad the Impaler. Vlad the Impaler, as I told you all in videos again, was he used to drink blood, like human blood. Yeah? So that's what they into, that's what they practice. If you all didn't do research from the last set of videos we did from before, you should have known that by now. So as it pertains to affecting us as a tribe and what we're doing and her being on our documents and whatever, her as well as her ascendants and descendants are on the document. So do some reading. I have no time to answer all them type of questions that we answered already, right? So that's there for that update with Elizabeth II and how it pertains to us. I wasn't even bothered by it. I was busy working when I heard about it, because we hear about that a while now, right? So that is that. So as it pertains to now, what we doing on the island here, is we proceeding forward as usual. And we have some nice things coming for you all to see, members of the public. So you know and feel our presence, right? So as it pertains to the information of what you're supposed to be doing right now, we repeating it again. Get back to the land. Get back to agriculture. Food is the new gold, right? Food security is the only security, right? Get back to the land, do these type of things, and then you have nothing to worry about. Don't worry about who die, who take up the seat, who is a fraud. Forget it. We're done with it. We have no part with it, and that's that, right? So that's that for that part of it, and what we're doing on the island in terms of our advancement and that type of stuff. We continuing as usual, continuing our self-sustaining programs, continuing our forest rehabilitation programs and all that type of stuff. So that's what we're up to, that's what we've been doing, and that's what we're going to be continue doing, right? For those of you who were interested then, as I said, from September 1st, we went on the more public informing. So through various contacts, members of the tribe, you might get to get some information on how we go about it. But for those of you who haven't heard before, The number still remains the same. The number is 3464885, and we void the contract that you have with the corporation, i.e. your birth paper and all other connecting documents that makes you a slave to their corporation. So um, that is for yeah. So that's for those who are interested in terms of information and that type of stuff and how you come out of the system and get yourself away from their corporate governance, from their corporate slavery, right? So um, this indigenous movement is not just isolated to Kairi. It is a worldwide thing. This is a planetary thing. The planet Zurkia is vibrating on a frequency now that all the people who connected here, who grounded here, and all over the planet is responding to the restoration or the vibrational frequency of this planet. So this is not isolated to Kairi alone, right? This is a planetary wide stuff in the planet, on the planet, and even outside the planet, as we informed before. Another thing we'd like to touch on is this. The other day, they raid Trump's residence at Mar-a-Lago. They found nothing. They came up with some empty boxes, right? Check this out. What they're looking for is Trump's connection um, to his agreements or what he did with the indigenous people and that type of stuff. Is all connected. As much as we not allowing that to affect what we do, is just information for the public to be aware of. You could go do your research. If you get more information than I have, please send some link. The email is Kairi Tribal Services at protonmail.com, right? So send me some information that you have, if you have information like that, because it's always good to know what's happening on the wider perimeter, because planet Earth is our indigenous, or what they call in planet Earth is our indigenous ground, right? We call it planet Zurkaya, Tiamat, all the ancient names. That's what we call here, refer here to here. So that'd be about the drop of information that we have for you all as per the phone calls and the queries on our tribal declaration and that type of stuff. It doesn't affect us again in no way, shape, or form, right? Reading a bit of reading into it, you'd see where I'm speaking of just where the flag is, the background watermark flag is. It explains even Charles' position that he's taking up right now, right? It even explains him as well is also held accountable for the fraud and the genocide on this planet as it pertains to them, right? So yeah, that's about it. So once again, this is the Chief Min Waab for short, registered copyright trademark of Kairi and the Kairi LB clan, and different arms and extensions from Tanzania to Europe and elsewhere, right? Tempter.